Speaking of Roka, we had all discussed many times over the box office stuff that was happening with what we thought of the big three in July, right? I have been, as you guys know, adamant that I thought that Jurassic World was going to be probably the winner overall because of the international clout that dinosaurs have. Roka and I bet 2 weeks ago that Jurassic World wouldn't even clear 700, and I said, "You want to go double or nothing?" And because he already owed me a steak dinner, so Roka's about to owe me a steak dinner. Because another one,
dude. Come on, Roka.
You know, because that is easily going to make another 25 to 30. They're saying the drop off is so small. We got to see what Superman's box office is, because this is Superman's last weekend to really make a big dent, because after Fantastic Four, it's competing business. Do you agree, Winston?
Yeah, they gotta go now, especially just because it sounds like people are pretty amped up about Fantastic Four. I mean, and that's the whole thing. It's like Superman has done well, you know, and the movie is good. You know, there are competing opinions about that one way or the other, but if they want to even sniff 750, they've got to go ham this weekend.
Right.
And the one thing I think working in their favor, though, people will still go see Jurassic World, but even with the, hey, it's dinosaurs, you know, I can't speak to international, at least domestically, everybody that I know that's not in the movie space that went to see it was like, bro, there's like no dinosaurs in it. I still haven't seen it. I don't want to see it. But then people have been like, there ain't no dinosaurs. They're in there for like 5 minutes. I don't even like this. So maybe it'll slow down. I don't know. I think he'll still beat Roka, but I think that might help Superman get a little bit more this week.
Domestically, maybe, but internationally, Superman is cooked as far as internationally goes. There's just it just didn't hit you. We went over the numbers. It had opening weekend. It did like in China, I think it did like 6 million or something like that. In China, 7 million, something small, and like
that's it.
Jurassic did like 60 or something. So it did not do well internationally. It's domestic where Superman's going to continue to make its money. But Coy, Fantastic Four, it's right around the corner. Are you hearing anything about the movie? Any buzz about it at all?
I've heard it has some third act polarization. I hear some people love the third act, some people don't. So polarization, I think, is a better way to express it. But I'm curious what that means for, setting up Doomsday, if that's what it is. I haven't seen the film yet, but everyone I know that's seen it has been like, odd little bit at the end there. And some people are like, yeah, and some people are worried how it's going to translate. My main thing is, with the movie being so important, will it do what Thunderbolts couldn't, which is be both good and a box office success? I think it could be a big box office success, but will it be the movie that some of the trailers has, like, it feels so big and it feels like it could be so incredible, but then I hear stuff and I'm like, I don't feel that event fervor like I used to with summer Marvel movies, and I want to. I want to walk out of the theater feeling like I'm not feeling right now walking into the theater, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've heard, there's only been, and we'll get to the first reactions, everything. Let's just bring it up now, because there's a couple of people. I mean, I think it was Robert Meyer Burnett actually who said he had heard some stuff about it. But like, here is the article right now, Comic Book Movie, and they're talking about Fantastic Four: First Steps to Eyes 110 opening as glowing first reactions arrive alongside the soundtrack. Fantastic Four: First Steps is fast approaching, and as analysts predict, a 110 million start for Marvel's first film at the domestic box office. We have some early reactions and the full soundtrack. Stop that. The Fantastic Four: First Steps arrives in theaters next weekend, and according to Deadline, the next Marvel Studios movie is currently eyeing a 100 million to 110 million start. Trade puts it, I keep hearing, oh, Disney is nervous, but the stats look good. With 13 million pre-sales as of Monday, Fantastic Four is pacing ahead of the pre-sales for Thunderbolts, which was 74.3, and Captain America: Brave New World at 88.8 in a 3-day, and 20% behind Superman, which came in at 125. So for all those who care about that kind of thing, it does appear that Superman's domestic opening will be bigger than Fantastic Four: First Steps. Marvel Studios has a week to give the movie a final push, and the MCU is likely to perform better than Superman overseas. So we'll see what happens. First critic reactions for the Fantastic Four First Steps arrived late on Monday, but film pundit Robert Meyer Burnett has shared on X. So my buddy in distribution saw the movie today and he loved it. The film is completely self-contained in its own universe. The opening 10 minutes will leave comic readers with a huge smile on their faces. He said all the cast were great, and he reluctantly admitted Pedro is Reed. His account was backed up by @ViewerAnon, who wrote, so I've followed up on this and heard back from a couple of people who've also seen the final cut. And yeah, I heard pretty much the same thing as RMB. Everybody seems to really like it, notably even those that aren't big comic book fans. Fantastic Four First Steps is picture locked, so TV spots have started to showing updated finished scenes, yada, yada, yada. I don't really want to look at the soundtrack thing, because sometimes it gives away stuff, sometimes it doesn't, but I don't want to do it. Anyway, so what do you got? People keep reaching out to me and keep telling me about how much they love Turtle Beach, and I said the same thing I say every time someone says that. I say, I told you so. It's the best. I love Turtle Beach. It just enhances your gaming experience in general. I told you guys I was playing Indiana Jones, and I love the game so much, and I wonder if one of the reasons I love it so much is because of Turtle Beach and the headset that I have. It's so good. It just brings back the feeling of the old school kind of gaming. This Gen 3 Stealth 700 headset that they have, it's really like stepping into the golden age of gaming all over again. But with the catch that this time, the audio is richer. The surround sound's more immersive. The battery lasts an insane 80 hours. No more crackly mics, no more missed call-outs, just pure uninterrupted gaming exactly the way you remember it, but better. It's the best. What I love about Turtle Beach is not just the headsets. They have every gaming accessory you could ever want, and they're all high quality at prices that don't break the bank. From flight racing simulators to controllers, keyboards, and mice, Turtle Beach is the ultimate gaming cheat code. So this is what you do. You head to turtlebeach.com. Use that code Kristian for 10% off your entire order. 10% off your order at turtlebeach.com with that promo code Kristian. You're going to purchase it. They're going to ask you, they say, hey, where'd you hear about us? You say, Kristian told us about it. Please support our show. Tell them that we sent you. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today.
Most people know that I've been gone this week to check on my dad, so I didn't get a chance to finish editing my Fantastic Four video. But based off of even some of what Coy was saying, some of that article, I think that my theory video is probably spot on, and I'm very excited for it. So I'm hoping to get that done by tomorrow. If not, y'all, it will be out first thing Monday. Check it out before all of the screenings happen and you get all those. I think I've got this nailed to a T, honestly.
I'll tell you, got nailed to a T is somebody at a Coldplay concert. All right, so
hey, Kristian, please tell me you saw that tweet that said Coldplay hasn't made a single in years and they just made 2 last night.
I saw that. How dare they blame him?
Dude,
Yeah,
he tried to be like, can you just let us have a private moment? Can you not notice that the Jumbotron is on, you dumb?
And by the way, he's like, look at this loving couple dancing to my
he was
music.
being sweet. Like, he wasn't trying to also like have a private moment at a 10,000 person section of a 100,000 person concert.
Bro, if you
blame him.
Do you understand that there are entire hotels that devote themselves, and if you want to go be sketch? Also, that dude made enough money, he probably could have paid Coldplay to come and play for the two of them. So kiss my ass. That
dude is the definition of what they call in most parts of the world an imbecile.
Dude.
Imbecile. He's a former billionaire.
He's about to lose
former billionaire. His wife, soon to be ex-wife, is a current billionaire. What a buffoon.
Dude,
an absolute buffoon.
Dude, and the best part is somebody is saying that because you know that the girl sitting next to him who was cheesing, that's the VP of HR. She had just gotten promoted from the woman that was there.
I got a promotion.
Yeah.
Well,
no. She just got promoted to VP.
No, she knew she got promoted to president.
Probably, but someone was saying they think the only reason, because this I guess happens sometimes in corporate spheres, the only reason that they brought just her because she already knew all that is that they were trying to get her to join the two of them that night too. Is the rumor going around?
It sounds like a human resources problem and solution. That sounds like a whole lot of human resourcing.
Hey man, chief people officer.
Bad hiring on the HR department there. Anyway, I don't even know how the hell we got down that road. But nonetheless, we're talking about Fantastic Four, talking about what's going on with that movie as far as what we hear. As Coy said, he heard from some people that didn't think it was that great at the end. Then they had that Brazilian Comic-Con, I think it was, where the first 30 minutes, everybody says like some of the best stuff they've seen since Endgame.
I have heard that. I've heard the beginning is astounding, and I
Right.
especially like the opening sequence. I hear is the greatest.
Okay, so that's encouraging, right? To alone, and when do you guys see it?
Monday.
I see it on Monday as well.
I see it on Thursday.
Okay. So I'm seeing it on Monday. I'm seeing it, I think, Coy, your time, 3 p.m. But the social embargo lifts like at like midnight my time. So
yeah, the premiere screening starts at 8. So I think the social embargo is when that ends at 10 p.m. Western.
That makes sense. So be interesting to see what the first reactions are for that film. I'm taking Matt Serra with me.
Nice.
That one, that's gonna be.
I saw his Grillo interview. I was pretty solid.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Grillo in the jacuzzi.
Yeah, just vibing, man. I love those two.
He had blown out his shoulder or something. I think that's why he was in the or something. He had hurt. I don't know if he was
like literally boxing after the premiere and then got hurt and recovering. I love that man.
He's the best. Well, anyway, so I think 115 is pretty accurate, right? I think what we're looking at here, and I think that, and I also think what they said, I think internationally, I think this movie is going to do better than Superman. I think domestically, though, it's going to be on par. I just don't think Marvel has the firepower that it used to, with or without Pedro Pascal, which I think is going to help. But Coy, I don't know. Do you think domestically this is going to do pretty well?
I think it's going to do pretty well. I think I don't think it's going to be Marvel numbers of a bygone era. I do think we're in a different expectation phase, and I think we should be in a new expectation phase between the pandemic and the strikes and the way people go to the movies. That has changed. I think it's really tricky to compare any box office numbers to 2022, much less 2018. Every chunk of time has markedly shifted box office. So I'm excited for Fantastic Four. I'm going to compare it to a post-pandemic number set. But I think it's going to do well in that comp. I think it's going to do domestically, as you said, probably about as well as Superman. It is weird that it doesn't feel like it felt more like an event when it was ramping up than now. Like I don't have that like, oh my God, I'm seeing a Marvel movie on Monday. But I also feel like once I'm there, it's going to be that like pure adrenaline and hype. It's just marketing. This one's been tricky. I've also heard the last 2 weeks of marketing, they've just given away the cow. So I've stopped watching anything. Like I don't want to know the end of the movie. And apparently the marketing's turned to that mode. So I'm curious how that translates because I know a lot of people love that. Like a lot of people love spoilers. So maybe I think they're kind of counting on the TikTokers to get them over the finish line by being like, this means this means this. And I don't know if that gamble is going to work if it costs them the movie.
What do you think, Winston?
I think Coy's hit something in particular that, yeah, I know that we are past the previous era of, inconsistency, but I don't think that we've gotten to a place yet of trust. So I think that if it truly is good, especially with a property that's a little more known and respected than the Thunderbolts, no disrespect to them, but obviously people didn't really know that team very well. Plus you've got, not to say that I don't love Florence Pugh and David Harbour and all that kind of stuff, but you also have a bona fide movie star in Pedro Pascal. At least at this point, he's crossed that threshold.
Yeah.
I think all of that collectively gears them up to do well, but you need that to then right the ship and really feel like we're on the right track. Because even for the stuff that did well this year, there were other things because they were still kind of purging what was left, dragging it down. So like, I personally liked Ironheart. I know some people didn't, but I know that feels like it was dragging things down a little bit. Like some people really liked Brave New World. A lot of people didn't. That was kind of dragging things down. So I just think now that we are kind of free and clear, you need a little bit of consistency to be like, okay, baby, Marvel is truly back. And then I think that hype of it's time, it's go time will finally be here again. And I that's just it. We haven't had the consistency yet to just be like, yep, let's bankable. This is a bankable thing.
Yeah, I think we get at least Marvel gets a quality win for me if this movie is as good story wise, and if I'm as invested as I was in Thunderbolts, because I would just be back to back and showing since the quality over quantity thing since they started that. Because I'm watching it was Sam and I right now. We just finished Loki season 2, and then we ended Loki season 2 yesterday, and then we went right into the Marvels right after that. It was as painful as I remembered it to be. and even worse.
Jesus.
And I'll tell you this: I didn't say a word. I made it seem like, oh man, I'm having fun with this one as I'm watching it. If I didn't have the window locked, Sam would have jumped right out of it. But either way, that was where they were, and then they started to jump back a little bit more, and I think they're starting to right the ship. And as we've all said, the three of us were all most excited about Superman this year for sure, and that's because Coy's a DC shill.
Yeah, and I had to be. It was like, I've actually got a tattoo that I had to be the most excited about. When Supergirl comes out, I got to add to the tattoo. It's going to get really dangerous. It reaches the hole.
Yeah, you cross out Spider-Man and
oh god, so painful every summer, every June, July.
Man. That's it. So, but either way, I have seen the trailers for this one, and I've been a little bit more interested in it. Opposite to Coy, I think Coy is a little more
reticent with the more I see, but I'm still hopeful to be proven wrong. Like I love the Fantastic Four so much, and I love what Marvel has more than not given me. I think Marvel is still batting 700. I just think they were batting 900 sports like 5 years ago. So I think it's a little different expectation.
Know what that means?
It means 7 out of 10 hits.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Maybe. Either way. I do think there's a shot though that this movie, I think it's less likely that this movie underperforms the predictions and more likely that it overperforms it. I will say that.
I mean, it's funny because there was a last minute debate with Superman about them, mainly Roca complaining about this, but the idea that Gunn was like, we don't have to hit 750. Like, I think we put a good movie out and I think it'll do well. And I think what that was both A, not be like, we've got $1 billion movie here, so then you look like you have egg on your face, but then also B, it's not because you thought the quality was bad. You were like, I am more excited to see people enjoy this art and let come what may. It doesn't mean the money wasn't important, but like focus on promoting it versus setting yourself up for people to like come at you.
But we'll kind of go off the path of the box office and go more into the idea of what the story and the quality will be and how important it is for them to really set up, because this is, it's right before the next Spider-Man movie, but it's really not going to play too much into that movie. And more so, this is really a setup for us to care about Doomsday. So, Coy, what do they need to do creatively to really get casual audiences and Marvel hardcore fans on board in this story to really lock them in?
I think Marvel needs to establish a new set of varsity, like A-list players. Yeah. I think this needs to be, we talk a lot about movie stars. We talk about opening movies. We talk about the characters that are like A-list versus B-list. I think Marvel right now hedge their bets a bit on the brand being stronger than the awareness of the characters. And for a time that worked. I think that big red Marvel logo was a guaranteed hit for a time, and it was beautiful, and I loved it as a comic fan. It was amazing to talk to my grandma about Thanos. That was insane. Mm-hmm. But there reached a point when, I think because of bad management above Feige, where they were basically that piece of beautiful thick paper became tissue paper and got broken through. Like, it wore down. And now the characters have to be first and foremost, because movie stars don't exist in the same way anymore. It was a movie star era for a long time. Then there was this IP era. And then for a little bit, there was a studio recognition era. We saw it with Marvel. We saw it with Pixar. We saw it with A24. I think still there are spikes in it, but the studio itself, that name isn't as strong as the IP needs to be. So I think what they need to do is they need to establish not only the F4 as the prominent, like, holy crap, but these individual characters within Doomsday all have to shine enough that they feel like they bring their A-team back, because there aren't Avengers right now in a movie between movies. Like, usually we have an Avengers moment. This kicks off phase 6. This needs to be a huge swelling. If we didn't culminate in something, because unfortunately Thunderbolts didn't do as well as it needed to, we need to launch with something. So creatively, I think all of these actors need to be revered to the point where it's exciting to see them. And I think the movie needs to do very well as an event film. And it does, then we're golden. And I hope it does.
What do you think, Winston? You think that Marvel needs to create some rock stars out of the Fantastic Four?
I absolutely. I mean, there is, one of our videos that did pretty well as a short. It's been over a year, maybe 2 years or something, where we were talking about Marvel doesn't have their all-star team right now, and they don't have their starters. And I think that's kind of what you need is going into this, like, as much as, again, people like the Thunderbolts team, the box office is enough to tell you that that's not enough of a draw. So
Right.
you need the Fantastic Four, which is a name that a lot of people globally truly know. You need people to go in here, have hopefully their expectations of, the Fantastic Four movies of the past that have been, okay at best, but typically subpar or bad. You need to be able to wipe that slate completely clean and go, this is it. This is the Johnny Storm I've been looking for. This is the Reed I've been looking for, etc. And be so excited about that then when Reed, who is known for having a massive role in Secret Wars, both before and during its actual playing out, I mean, the whole family, but specifically Reed, you want people to be that geeked out about it. And you want them to lean into Pedro Star Power and Vanessa and Eben Moss Baccarat, all of them. You need people to want to lean into that and want to make this an event they have to go and see, especially if you want Doomsday and Secret Wars to work.
What do you guys think? Fantastic Four right around the corner. You getting hyped for it? You're going to see it? You're going to check it out? Or are you going to go watch Superman again? Or are you going to be one of those people just wanting to see dinosaurs eat grass? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know.